some are doing their doctor's degree and stuff like that. So I think we are in the position, if we find time, the same time we find to make the food for them, the same time we find to make things available for them, we can also try as much as possible to let us know our me moments that we want to upgrade ourselves. It's sad, but we want to upgrade to meet their standards to be able to manage them properly.
When you talk about time, it's one thing that when you mention time, as adolescents go, parents don't have time. But we also give that impression that we don't have time. What is it that we're doing that we can't? Is it we're finding the difficulty of prioritizing? Work is priority. They are priority. So which comes first? Which comes first?
I would say that they come first. Of course, family is everything. You can't mismanage your home and then go and manage your work properly. Okay, you need to be able to put both of them in the highest priority, because definitely if you also give them all the time and you don't also go work, you will not be able to meet their needs. So parents have to try as much as possible to measure and make both of them very, very high, put them on the highest priority. And it's difficult. It's very difficult, because if I have to really let people understand how I manage my, it's crazy like that.
For you run two businesses.
I have two businesses.
You have a regular job.
Yes.
And a private, and that's a baby business.
That's a baby business. We are just 5 years old. And I've been a customer service person and salesperson for over 20 years. And I'm a full-time, so I always said I have 2 8 to 5 jobs.
I think you have 3. Because you're a full-time mom.
Yes.
And then managing 2 careers.
2 careers, yeah. That's it. So it's crazy. Like, and sometimes it depends on the kind of spouses we have or the kind of help we end up getting. You can't be a super person to be doing this all by yourself. I can't say that I get everything done all by myself, but you still have to manage and then also give them the opportunity to also help themselves, because I have adolescent kids. It's never been easy them growing up. The house helps are coming and going in because my mommy doesn't live here. So it was difficult, but at least I would say that it's an effort.
You said give them the chance to do things for themselves. Are they willing to do things for themselves?
No, they are not, but you need to let them do it.
Is that the case? Are you guys willing to do things for yourselves? Yes. Really? Don't wash the dishes.
That benefits to them. They are ready to do it.
Exactly what are you willing to do for yourselves?
Everything that will benefit us.
Everything like what?
That will benefit them. Food.
Oh, benefit you. So what is that? What falls in that category? What falls in the category of everything that will benefit you?
Education, friends, and some things, things that we think will do us good.
Education, friends,
and some other things.
You notice he doesn't say anything about housework.
No.
He doesn't say anything about housework. Or that doesn't fall in that category. Housework doesn't seem to fall in the category. No. So if they have to go and see friends, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. I have a question for the adolescent, and it's about the issue to do with the time. Because if we're looking at, like you're saying, both are priority, how do we balance it? Are we balancing it? Are they feeling that we're balancing it? Do you guys feel that parents are balancing their time with you and their time with work? Sometimes. Can you give me more details?
Please, what's it?
Who can give, somebody to give me much more information. Do you feel that parents are balancing the time? Sometimes. Do you, so how, when you say sometimes, what do you mean? Give me.
We believe that they have busy schedules and sometimes they have to get money for us.
I like the money for us bit.
So we are in need of something. They can give us a particular time like this one. I can meet you at this time, but at this time I cannot meet you.
Okay.
You can see that they are actually helping us to meet. Sometimes sometimes they can have busy schedule to the extent that they can't meet you at all, but because you are the son or the daughter, first you have to meet you.
Hey, today it seems like Festus is speaking for the parents, but
Oh, I'll come back to you.
like that. Go on. Okay, so in the issue of time, you think they are balancing. Okay. Now, so why is it that adolescents are always complaining that parents don't have time?
Depends on that person.
What is your definition of time? What do you expect to find in that time?
Yes.
Yeah, Godwin. Okay.
Sometimes, when we talk about having time for children, I sometimes look at the emotional aspect.
Okay.
Emotionally, sometimes the parents do not have time for us, as in that aspect. Because I may be feeling sad, but the parents may not know.
You be feeling, but if you don't tell them, how would they know?
Yeah, and maybe the connection may not have been there enough, or it has not been created enough for.
Now we've gone to the connection. Go on.
Yeah.
It's
so
getting interesting.
since it has not been opened up, based on personal experiences that I have had, it has not been opened up. So telling them something sometimes, emotionally, isn't really okay with me. I keep it to myself and then work it around. So, but the moment I'm asked, "How are you feeling?" I may have the urge to speak. Apart from that, I may just succumb and then not talk.
So once you don't get the prompt, "How are you feeling?" you don't feel the need to communicate.
Yeah.
You don't find that it's necessary for me to walk up to mommy and say, "Mommy, something is bothering me today." You don't find that it's necessary.
Yeah. So I don't find that necessary to tell.
Why? Why?
Like I said, the connection may not have been created or it's not been created, so that I can't. Unless maybe my mom or my dad at that time they asked me, "Are you okay?" Apart from going to school and all that, "Are you okay?" Then I will go to school.
Okay.
That aspect, there is no time created.
You know, he's talking about connection. If the relationship is not there from the onset, then they don't find the confidence to walk up to the parent and say, "This is what is bothering me. This is what is on my mind. This is how I'm feeling today." How do we break that as parents?
I believe that it all starts from the kind of relationship you develop with your with your children in the home.
Okay.
You have to get involved in some of the activities they do, like sitting down, watching a movie with them, laughing. All these dances that they like to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get involved and try and dance with them. When you do that, it breaks down the barriers, and so it's easier for them to come to you to tell you anything. And that's what I do with my last two, because the first one is older, he's in uni, so he's left the house. Yeah.
But being in uni, he's still in the adolescent bracket, isn't he? So, I mean, when they move to another chapter, do we have a sense of detachment?
Yes, you do.
Is it from them or is from the parents?
It's both ways, because now your older son has left the house. You don't see him more often. You don't have that control over him anymore, because especially when they get to the age of 18, they just so feel like they are adults, and so they can make their own decisions. And that's why my first son told me.
8-year-olds wants privacy.
Yeah. So that's what it is. So they want to be in control of things, and so sometimes when you're trying to direct them, you go like, "Mommy, I'm 18, so I can make my own decisions." That's what you hear most often when they get to that age.
Why do you think, Ebony, why do you think they keep saying that I'm 18 and I can make my own decision? Is it because they think it's a voting, it's like a legal age?
I think, aside the fact that they think it's a legal age for voting, I think, like she said, it's the world, as in, they've gotten themselves exposed to the world, so they know, okay, the US is 16 years, this person is 18, they are sitting in Ghana, they have friends in Canada, they are sitting in Ghana, so they get all the exposures in every single corner. they are watching TikTok and seeing somebody who is whatever and stay in their own house and all by herself. So they have this kind of mentality that when you get to a particular age, I'm also grown. Okay, and there's so much in a rush to get there.
I don't even know why.
I don't know what is there. At least we that we've been there can clearly say that there's nothing extraordinary there.
Do you think that if we actually sat them down, okay, before I come to this, the connection bit, at what point do we start to build the connection with them? Do we wait till they become adolescents or from the tender ages?
Right from birth, I would say, because sometimes, I wouldn't say sometimes, I got the information that when even they are in the tummy, when you're talking to them, they react based on the way. So that is how it's been. With mine, I'm very open. Are you okay? Are you okay? I ask. Sometimes you are becoming a bother. You're talking to me. As we are coming, I asked someone, are you okay? It's like, no answer. You know, so you try as much. I probe. There are times when you do those faces, or maybe you've called in. I keep asking, and the connection bit. It's unfortunate when they get to a particular age and feel like parents are not listening to them, parents are not coming to them. It's sad. Because when it gets to that level, it means that you are giving them away to the world to manage them for you. So I would say that let's try. Sometimes it's difficult. Maybe you didn't get the opportunity to have that kind of connection with them at a particular age, but you try to build it. Just see them as your siblings, or you don't treat them as your children anymore if you've lost that touch already. Now see them as a friend, and now start talking about you go to them with your own issues, and then check their feedback, and then start building that relationship from there. It's necessary.
Sometimes I get a few parents saying that, oh, when I become too friendly with my child, they disrespect, they take it for granted, they become familiar. Is that the case? Should I ask them? Is that the case? Be confident. You know you have a room in my house. Don't worry.
Is that the case?
Yeah.
Not really.
Not really?
Yes.
When you say not really, it means there's something.
I mean, it depends on how you bring up a child. And so if you bring up your child in a way that your child sees you in a certain way, there are certain things that your child will never dare to do, because he knows that this is my mommy and this is the path I have to follow. And so the fact that my mommy is trying to be like my friend shouldn't allow me to relate to her as my friend, but then as my mother and friend.
Mother and friend, how do we blend that?
I would say that it's two things. So you are bringing up a child, building a certain virtue in the child. You have to respect the elderly. When you see an elderly person sitting in a chair, get up and offer your chair. You know, you are building those things into the child.
Are they getting up and offering the chair?
Well, like he said, it depends on how you're brought up. Okay, so there's that side and there's the friendship side. I feel that the friendship side is very important, and that is how I am, especially, no, I don't discriminate, but my daughter.
But you're discriminating.
No, I'm friends with all of them, but you know, she's the only girl.
Oh, okay, that's the only girl.
That's my only girl.
So she's like your friend.
Oh my God. Yes.
When it's convenient
we dance together, yes, when it's convenient. But when she's on her phone playing games, please don't come. You're disturbing her. She won't come. But you know what I keep telling her is that, you know, you're my best friend. You know, you can talk to me about anything. So sometimes she just walks to me, and then she'll tell me, oh, Mommy, in school, maybe this person is doing this. And she asked me an amazing question. I was shocked. She went like, Mommy, when I'm 16, can I have a boyfriend? I'm like, oh my God, where is this coming from?
Have you had that question?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you had that question?
No.
Are they thinking it? All those who are thinking that when they are sitting, can they have a boyfriend? Show your hands. No hands.
Yeah. So you see, it goes back to what she said about because they are online, they know that in this country at this age, an adult or you can have access to. So in her mind,
to move out.
Yeah, right. In her mind, she knows that when she's 16, she can. But honestly, I was grateful when she asked me that question because she asked out of the blue. We were at home, and her older brother was teasing her about a guy in her class.
Crashes? We are coming to that
you know. And she was like, oh no, you know, the way she was behaving. Then after that, she walked to me and she went like, Mommy, can I have a boyfriend when I'm 16? But because I was grateful for her being open to me, I answered her question. Imagine. Yes, because that's what I want. Don't hide anything from me.
I get a lot of the girls ask me that. Or they're in mixed schools, this boy is constantly worrying them. You've got to be bold and say, look, this is, for Brandis, for those who came for the next chapter, we said something about the why. Why are you in school? At this time of your life, what is important? Do you think that you're psychologically ready to have a boyfriend? Is it, I don't even know about legal age for having a boyfriend.
That's not.
I mean, I think they should do 30 when they are 30 years.
Oh my God.
Stay tuned, we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Pizza will always be by your side, celebrating with you in moments of joy and happiness. Enjoy everyday life with Cheesy Pizza. Cheesy Pizza, your way.
And the Lord himself shall descend in a shout, in the voice of an archangel and the tramp of God. Are you ready? It's High School Worship 2022. Get ready to travel to Mount Zion and join the company of the Church of the Firstborn. In countless number of angels and spirit of just men made perfect to worship the Lord and lift his name high. Anticipate this November. High School Worship. The aim is Christ. The outcome is Christ.
Pure, distinctly different, and heavily blessed for supernatural exploit. Potter's Dew natural mineral water is drawn from the deep, refreshing wells of Potter City, Neutral Pram, distilled and bottled with state-of-the-art machinery under strict hygienic conditions for satisfying and refreshing water. Quench your thirst with Potter's Dew natural mineral water, blessed and sanctified for healing and preservation. Insure mudahode and one Potter's Dew.
Marriage doors will be open. Amen. Academic, financial doors will be open. Amen. Ministry doors will be open. Amen. Traveling doors will be open. Amen. By the efficacy of the acceptance.
Welcome back to the studio. If you've just joined us, you're watching Listen. Listen is a show which discusses the challenges and insecurities of adolescents as well as the challenges of parenting adolescents. We're looking at life through the eyes of an adolescent, coming to you live from Metro TV. We're also streaming on YouTube, Ali Television Network, DSTV channel 277 and Go TV channel 170. You can also follow us on Instagram, is listen_adolescent, and also share on YouTube and subscribe. Okay, so we're still talking about the adolescent relationship. Now, when you hear a lot about adolescents who live with step-parents, and there tends to be a lot of, should I say, negativity and unhappiness for parents like that, or should I say for the adolescents in situations like that. How best do we help them? How best do we reach out to them? Because you get a lot of them looking to talk to somebody, but because of the situation at home, it's a stepmom, and the father obviously, is kind of, should I say, obliged to side with his wife for the sake of peace. And you find a lot of these young ones very, very sad, because in a week, I get about maybe 10 to 15 of them who reach out to me, and most of them are at the point of suicide.
I think it's about, first of all, acceptability.
Who accepting who?
It's both ways. The child accepting the new mother, and then the new mother accepting the child. But unfortunately, sometimes in as much as the new mother is trying to make the stepchild a friend, it doesn't work. It doesn't work based on internal and emotional factors. When I say internal, maybe some other family members, she mentioned that some other family members are, how should I say, brainwashing the child against the stepmom. And then emotional, because the child knows that this is not my mother. Will she really accept me as her own? And so he or she battles with that.
Would you say then that the child has already formed a mindset?
Yes.
Am I going to be accepted? Will I be accepted or not before the opportunity comes?
That's what it is.
It's a very tough one.
It is. When
it's a tough
comes
one.
with stepchildren and then new moms or dads, like parents, it's like she said, the effort is supposed to be from both ways. But as we are matured and they aren't, we have to find ways and means to manage that kind of breach. The issue is that some of them get all instigations from the other relations, as in the other family members, getting wrong informations and all that. That puts a little effort to be put on the actual parents. Maybe if you are the dad, or you're supposed to make sure that you bring these two people together. Sometimes, like you said, the men always want to support their wives, but I've seen some that you wouldn't get a support from the man in any way. He's always might be supporting the children against you and stuff like that. So it's difficult, and when it comes to that, parents, as in whoever, as in the stepmother, needs to reach out to the adolescents to try and then understand them. Because it's difficult sometimes when you get a negative attitude like that, and especially when you start having your own, it becomes a whole story altogether. When I do this, they'll complain about mine, but when her kids do this,
does that become a mindset though?
It's a mindset.
Is it easier if, for the adolescent, if it's a situation where the mother has passed, as opposed to a divorce?
I would say that it's the same, because I have seen a clear death situation that has separated a mother from the kids, but amazingly, the kids don't relate properly with a new mom.
With a new mom,
it's difficult for them to accept that.
They feel Their mother's position has been taken.
And there are times they tell her straight, you are not my mother. You know, yes.
Let me introduce. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us, Leila. We missed you. But before we go on, I have a message here. It says, talking about time on the side of our parents. Our means that it's an adolescent who sends the message. Not all, but most don't have time for the adolescent's emotional life, which is what the young man was talking about earlier. They feel that their emotional development is stunted because parents are not giving them time. So even if it's a death, they struggle to, fit in. Do you think that if, I'm coming to you, we're talking about how the adolescent relates to a stepmother situation. Do you think that if from the very onset of the relationship between the father and the new mom, the children are introduced to it, it would make a difference?
Exactly so. Usually parents do things without involving these children. Yeah. But I know that there have been situations where children haven't accepted the new mom coming in, and so the man doesn't resents on his decision to go along with that woman.
Okay.
So when we involve the children, they see themselves as important part of that family unit. Yeah. But if you don't involve them and you bring in this woman, you have brought her, so what do you want them to do?
You're on your own.
But if you involve them from the on-go, from the start, that, mom has passed or dad has passed, we need to move on. I've met somebody who I think you would like. They meet the person and, they form their own relationship even before she becomes their mother. When that happens, all of these frictions, I think, would reduce. Though they will not see her totally as their mom because she's not. The burden of all these troubles would be reduced. So it's very important that we involve our adolescent children, even for the little ones. It's very important.
See, when you talk about involving them, it means that they play a significant role in the family unit because they are part of it. But are we really involving them? Are we acknowledging that we're taking a family decision? Let's sit with the children and get their opinion on this. Or we just go ahead and take the decisions, and then they feel that, okay, if I'm not a part of it, then hey.
Yeah. Because of our busy schedules, we always think that these young ones are not important. But from what we eat, where we live, they should always be part of that decision. And when they are there, they will lend their support. But if we ignore them, and even what we're going to eat for dinner or breakfast, you don't involve them in that decision.
I've made gobe. Everybody's eating gobe. Whether you like it or not.
Yes.
Gobe is a favorite for everybody.
Yes. Even though sometimes, unfortunately, when you involve them in decisions of what to eat and where to go, two people will say, okay, I'll do this. Another person says, I don't like this. But at least you would always disagree to agree at a point. So it's very important that we recognize that they also have needs, they are growing, and make them part of the family. Because without them, the family unit is not complete. Father, mother, children. That makes the complete family unit.
Quite a number of adolescents are afraid of their parents. Father gets home, they are missing. You don't see them anywhere. You don't come out of your room unless you're called. How does that foster adolescent-parent relationship?
I think it's because, like you said, the father, so I'll focus on the father. Most of the time, I know some mothers are strict, but most of the time the father...
Raise your hands.
The father carries a certain authority. I don't know if it's because God created him as the head of the family. It's like when the father speaks, everyone is quiet.
When your daddy comes, you will see.
Yes. And we mothers also do say that, so we are culprits to putting that subtle fear of towards the father in the children. Do you understand? Because sometimes we want to, when the child is doing something and you're correcting the child and, the child is not listening, you think that the next person you can call on is your husband. And so you go like, when daddy comes, I'll report you to daddy, So most of the time, when the father comes home, yes, it's a common thing that happens in most families. The kids don't necessarily warm up towards the father as much as they do with the mother. But again, it all depends on the kind of relationship that you build with the child.
Talking about relationship, there's a message here. It says, hello, mommy, good afternoon, happy Mother's Day. Regarding the connection, the temperament of the child also plays a significant role. The child's temperament as to whether they are open, they are, you know, blocking parents, ready to talk, or
labor.
So they have the choleric and all of those things. So we find that in the children as well. So we're saying that the child's temperament also, but you know, if the connection is started from childhood, does temperament matter?
Yes, it matters, because as they go through the phases of development into adulthood, they change. Because now they're exposed to a lot more things. You know, when they are infants or toddlers, they don't know much. And so what you tell them is what they believe. As they are moving into adolescence, now they have friends from school, senior secondary school, junior secondary school. They are also telling them things that they have learned from somewhere. And so now they are in a battle. Okay, my friend is saying this, that, but in my house, I can't do this. And so out of inquisitiveness, they will try to lend themselves towards some of the things that their friends tell them. Do you understand? So it's a whole, should I say, muddle of emotions, thoughts, and
it's all over the place.
Battle emotionally, within.
Let me read some of our messages. It says, the media representation of mothers as harsh and hard people in most movies also makes the children uncomfortable to speak to their mothers. Happy Mother's Day. And then we have another message. Happy Mother's Day to you all, especially to you, Mrs. Tando. To the world, you are a mother to our family. You are a mother to our world. Okay. To our family, you are the world. Okay, Mrs. Tando. Okay. Sarah says, happy Mother's Day, Auntie, like no other. Love and appreciate you. Okay, I asked myself earlier this week that, am I doing anything on a regular basis in the family to demonstrate responsibility and maturity? If not, what could I do this week? This is from an adolescent. What can you do this week? Be more obedient, more submissive. Spend less time. Okay, then it says, good afternoon, Mommy. I'm watching from the UK. God bless you for the program. How can a connection be built between a step-parent and a stepchild, especially when the children are not ready to accept the parent into the family? This step-parent thing, it's tricky.
Sometimes, from where I sit, I feel like she said, okay, she said earlier that we need to engage the kids. Currently, the rate at which divorce is happening is very high. And we are not praying for it to continue like that, but it happens. How are we able to get the children to get themselves ready for the process is what really turns out these ways. Because let's say you didn't really engage the kid. Mother and father didn't sit down to let them, this is what the decision that we made. Yes, we love you, but however, the two of us are not gelling anymore, or because of A, B, C, D, we have to go our separate ways to make life better for you. There should be that kind of communication and understanding. If it doesn't go well with them, I'm not saying if it doesn't go well, then you guys have to stay. But the issue is that you need to let the children understand the situation that they find themselves in. But you can't just wake up and one day you say that, okay, I'm not living together with mommy again, that's it. That alone is an emotional blast for the kid. And then while he or she is trying to get themselves around it, then you just introduce a new man or a new woman. This is your new dad, this is your new... You've messed it up.
I remember one time in one of our camps, one of the 7-day camps we organized, two young ladies came to camp. And their mother called and said to me that by the time they come home after the 7 days, the parents will be divorced.
Wow.
And they wanted me to prepare them. And it was a very difficult task. You don't know where to start from. And I remember the one thing they both said was, if they care about us, it shouldn't be, because it seems that it's about them and not us. We are not factored in there. I think there's a lot of burden children carry, especially when they get to the adolescent age, because they are very confused at that point. So if we are not being that supportive, so to bring in a step mom or a stepdad, it's really, really important that they engage. It's understandable that they will build that wall. It's not my mom. They get rebellious, and it becomes room for something else to go on, to start breeding. But it's the way we introduce it must be very cautious and deliberate.
Yes, and I think in this side of the world, we don't have a lot of counseling and would I say organizations that help in this. It's quite, maybe there might be, but they are not very vocal. Because on a platform that I was on, somebody was being suicidal, a woman, and they just came to ask, do you know any counselor in here who can assist for free? Free because the person can't afford. You know, so if these organizations are made very open and the family can actually afford a counselor at every single time, at least a neutral person, because sometimes you will feel like the temperament that you're talking about, we are even so busy cooking for them, let alone pick
the kind of temperament they have.
Go and now read about it and know this person is melancholy or this person, you know, it's a whole, you know, there are times you get opportunity to listen to these programs, but when you know that there's an organization that could help you, you rush there for help. So these organizations should also make themselves available, because there are times in these states, no matter what you do, you can't solve it all by yourself.
You can't.
They are more trained to do that.
I think that, I mean, with the dimension the discussion has gone, it will be very good that next week we talk about identifying the various temperaments of a child to be able to help them. Because, like you're saying, parents are too busy to find the time. And I think it's more like we take it for granted. This is my child. I know my child. We think we know them. Isn't that how you feel? Oh, that's a chorus. We think we know them.
They say we don't know them too.
Yeah, it's true. We don't know anything. Hey, so I think next week it will be great to talk about their temperaments and all of that. I have a few messages here before we go. It says, loving your program, happy Mother's Day to Florence. I appreciate all your support. Okay. And then, why do mothers always want to control us? We know our rights. Oh my God.
Oh, there you go.
Do you think we control you? Yes. I didn't get the chorus, so it's not always. We do? Yes. Sometimes. When we are guiding, you see it as control. You know, because it's not going the way you want it to go. But I think it's important we get to know our children. Because like we say we know them, but they think we do not know them. Maybe we know them from when they are toddlers up to a certain age, you know, but when they start the adolescent phase, a lot of things changes, their mindset, the way they handle themselves. So if we don't find a way to really get to know them, but how do we get to know them? Do they want us to know them? Do you want us to know you? Yes. That's not true. Because when we say, come and let's have a conversation, oh, mommy, I'm busy. They have their phone. They say,
we never ask.
They say you are always busy.
You know, last week I was talking about adolescents, just their need is just freedom. They want to be free. But freedom come to do that you call control. It's just to help you navigate that freedom.
70%.
Hey, percentage abemo.
So you see, when we start, when you are toddlers, we do 100%. When you begin to, you know, grow as adolescents, then we are like, okay, 70-30 for you. Then
70 for who and 30 for who?
30 for them, 70 for us.
This is like man you reigning. We know we know our strategy.
Then when you get to uni, then we know that okay, Then by the time you do your 4th year in uni, we know that, okay, this is a man who is going out, or a young woman who is going out to the world. Then you feel that we have stepped down on the control because we are launching you into the world. We should start from now. Freedom without control is doom. So allow your parents, allow us as parents who have also walked your path to guide you through it. Otherwise, if we leave you,
they don't think we've walked that path.
I would like to chip in a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you look at our generation, I'll tell you, I don't want to disclose. The way we were brought up, our parents had more control over us. And in their generation, they see it differently, that we should allow them to be like, my sister said, yes, it needs navigation. But I always talk about phases of development because I've seen it with my older son. The way you communicate with an infant or toddler is full control. Okay, but when they get to the, let's say, 11 years to teenage, yes, you can have about 70% control. Sometimes you even
70 for us and 30 for them.
us.
It's always good to clarify.
Even at that stage, sometimes you need to compromise. And then when they get to the 18 and above, please, it's not about control.
It's negotiation.
It's negotiation. It works. It's not about control. It works. Yeah.
When it sounds good in their ears, they clap. All too soon, our time is up. But next week, we're going to continue still with the parent relationship, but it's about identifying the temperament and how to connect with them, especially at the adolescent. We're hoping to have Dr. Newman in studio with us next week, our clinical psychologist, so that he can also take it from that angle. As you know, we've only been able to bring this to you by our kind sponsors, Better Malt, KR Senso Limited, Lesh Fortune Limited, Porter's Dew Mineral Water, CH Foods, and Power Life Global. Also, without my technical crew, my very, very able technical crew, we couldn't have pulled off today's show as always, and my lovely adolescent audience. And don't forget, they keep prompting me, that you have to follow us on Instagram. Oh, we have very few minutes, but we have a project coming up to support adolescents who are at home who want to learn a skill. It's a scholarship scheme. So next week we'll announce it, and then you know how to apply for it. It's been a lovely afternoon, and we look forward to being with you next week. Do not miss. And remember, YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Our scholarship, it depends on how much you're following us on Instagram before you get it. So, yes. As always, I forget to mention my name. My name is Natalie Takyi-Appiah, your host. And same time next week, 2 p.m. Do not miss. We'll come your way with another exciting, educative, and informative episode of Listen. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Ima, my property under construction has been vandalized by laggards, and some of the workers have sustained serious injuries.
Your plan? No. How? Check your name. This is your plan. What has that got to do with the Konak building? No. Stop it. Stop it.
The attempt by many to acquire land, mortgage, build or buy their own property is the most daunting task to embark on in this country. Matters of renting, high cost of construction materials. For these and many other interesting stories, make a date with me, Emmanuel Owusu-Ansah, on the Homeowner Show, this and every other Sunday at 3 p.m. live on Metro TV.
It's the 9th edition of the Ishmael Yamson and Associate Business Roundtable, a dialogue platform for corporate Ghana and key stakeholders on important national and business issues. The 2022 theme, Building a Transformative Economy, a partnership between the state, the youth and business. Explore the role of various stakeholders in shaping and realizing the new future of our economy. The roundtable features Mrs. Kosi Yankee, CEO, Ghana Enterprise Agency, Joe Jackson, Director of Strategy and Business Operations, the Lex Finance, Tony Senaya, CEO, Horseman Shoes, Kofi Dazi, Founder, Rancard Solutions and Tech Strategy and Governance Consultant. The discussion will be live from 9 a.m. on Wednesday, May 18th on Metro TV, Zoom and Facebook. Visit www.ieyamsen.com/BRT2022 now to register for free. Ishmael Yamsen and Associates Business Roundtable 2022, Building a Transformative Economy, a partnership between the state, the youth and business. This program is proudly sponsored by Stanbic Bank, Data Bank, Cowbank, Lucozade, Specialized, Business 24, and powered by Metro TV. Call 0247 665283 for all inquiries.
Ade mama no mama ati no mama kwaba never trust say jumedie no eye yen abrabo wa woni say yen abrabo de emuntem no edros edi abeje so eye amamrehima adwo isua sa enti na maje adwa na me no ababedi nkomo na me treu say the trust dia ensem no eye bebre say eye waware eye wo mpratwe wapomuden ene wahonidie ensem ensie chiba na wankasa wabrabo no wonsie chiba de enu nti na madie sei na amambre so de so nim se efrete ehina uchi fa mimi saw abusia be na enton ben so na abo na wenum a wunim ntimo mewie na me no begzi ani eni ji ntam ne de ene Ghana ensam na jiba bia ni nyina ye bedukuru mu ne de honkomo sabre me pesa wo kame ho na ye de yen abrabo dwumedie ehye so.
It's exactly 6:30 a.m. Ahaya original 91.9 FM original sports morning show and Gideon Ocheni. Gatuso is the person. My name is Sports Soldiers. Shannon, so I am Monday to Friday from 6:30 a.m. I copy 10 a.m. and I don't pay ye diemu abibimu afifimu eba agudiemu sam papa padia original 91.9 FM sports morning show with Gideon Ocheni. Gatuso raise the power 7. Shannon, so me say I am Monday to Friday from 6:30 a.m. I copy 10 a.m. Original sports ye take it over.
Do you want to know how to build with the latest building technology, or do you want to build a smart house, or do you want to know how the world of real estate is fast changing? Then your best bet is Real Estate TV.